Let's go then to the resolution, and Commissioner Ford, would you present your resolution?
You have in your packet before you. I would like to ask Jody if he would just come on to the podium, because I'm probably going to ask him a question or two, maybe as we go along. Resolution you have in your packet, it simply says, whereas in the world of digital communications, having high-speed access to the resources of the internet is essential. And whereas access to the internet improves opportunities for education, training, economic development, health care, and work-at-home applications. And whereas in today's technology-rich society, the need for high-speed, reliable internet connections, whether wired or wireless in the home, is important for families in Hamblen County. And whereas MUS Fibernet has the authority to provide broadband internet access to homes and businesses in Hamblen County, even outside their utility footprint, but within the confines of Hamblen County. And whereas MUS has publicly stated its intent to offer broadband services outside of Hamblen County, even though they do not offer services to the Hamblen County area. Therefore, be it resolved by the County Commission of Hamblen County, Tennessee, meeting in its regular session on March the 17th, 2016, as follows. The Hamblen County Board of Commissioners desires now. We're not saying requires or does nothing of that nature. We just say desires that households and businesses in Hamblen County have access to high-speed, reliable internet services from multiple providers. The Hamblen County Board of Commissioners requests that MUS Net offer broadband internet services to homes and businesses in Hamblen County, even outside their utility service area, before MUS Fibernet offers any services outside of Hamblen County. The Hamblen County Board of Commissioners requests that MUS Net Fiber provide quarterly installation progress updates to this commission, and the Hamblen County has been served. The Hamblen County Board of Commissioners requests that MUS Fibernet report back to the commission to the final approval to expand broadband services beyond Hamblen County should the MUS Fibernet desire to do so. Now, Jody, I just want to say this, and I believe this is speaking for the majority of the commission. We desire to have your service. You've got a service that nobody else offers. Give you an example. On TVs, I have Charter at my home. Every set must have a box with it before I can have service. That box is anywhere from $6 to $7 a month, each box. Now, I understand your services, you don't have to have no box.
And cable.
So that alone is a great savings, and I promise you, when you got in our county outside, these people hungry for your services. And I just say this: I know you got an excellent service, and I appreciate the service you provide. But I just would love to see by this resolution that you offer. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're not outside in the county nowhere right now.
Yes, they are.
Where at? Where you at?
About 450 people.
About 400.
450. We're in Wethington Heights, and then we went around down Kibbles Ridge Road, several subdivisions off of that, and some scattered places.
Okay, I know, Jody, and this body understands. You can't provide service to every individual. I mean, it's not economical, and we wouldn't begin to ask you to do such things, to try to do that. We just say, we feel like Hamblen County residents, Hamblen County taxpayers deserve an opportunity to have your service if you're gonna be going to other counties. So, I have heard, now correct me if I'm wrong, this is all hearsay, I'm fixing to say, that you will be providing service where Appalachian is now serving in Hamblen County. Is that right or is that wrong?
Some areas,
That is right.
yes. Well,
Partly right. Well, in other words, again, it would come to the fact that, that you would not be, I know you wouldn't be providing to every resident because of, it's not economical to do so. But I guess I'm asking, there will be service provided in Hamblen County,
yes.
other than what's already there.
Other than what we serve now.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Yes. Do you want me to just,
Yeah, cause you just pick it up and go, pick it up and go,
let me
guys.
just go. There's been several things said here that are absolutely not true, and some of them are true. But for one thing, I cannot offer retail services outside of Hamblen County. That's state law.
You can, say that
I
again?
cannot offer retail, internet, and video services outside of Hamblen County. I have not said that I would. So the last whereas don't really agree with that. The other whereas we're okay. I do have pilot status where I could go into Hamblen County. Mr. Swan got that passed several years back. And we, for years, desired to get into the county. There's two basic issues with that. One is the funding mechanism. I don't go to the city to borrow money to take a risk of venture into the county. So I would need to either go borrow my own money or have you back some bonds, low interest rate U.S. County Commission. The number two problem is when I go out of the city, I'm treated as a telecom provider. Today, we use fiber optics to run the entire electric system. It's how we read meters, it's how we operate things. So inside the city, I had the fiber in the electric space up a little higher, and we're able to share that infrastructure. When I get to the county, I'm treated as a telecommunication provider, and I have to drop down lower. There's all this work has to be done on the poles to move things around, change poles. It's very cost prohibitive. It's very slow. We learned that lesson when we went down Kidwell's Ridge. And it's not my power poles. I can't control that. That's Appalachians. So in this project, now this is a joint public-private venture. There is no government obligation by the county. I'm not borrowing any money. I'm more like a wholesale provider to those. So this is private money that would be invested. So I just become someone they could come co-locate equipment in my head in and possibly go serve other areas. That Appalachian is very desirous to have fiber optics for their electric system. So in this project, and it wouldn't be everybody. You're right, it's not finance, it's not logical to try to serve every single person. Nobody in America does that to the rural area. But in this project, the private money would fund the build, but it would be owned by Appalachian, who would turn around and lease back to the private provider. It would be some other company, not me, offering retail services, but they could buy the wholesale service. Now, Appalachian covers about 3/4 of the county residents. And I know the manager there very much wants to cover as many people as he can possibly pass. The other 1/4 of the county is served by Holston, east and the southeast, where her is. So those two difficulties, that's why we have it, the funding and the issues about being on somebody else's power poles is why we haven't got there. But this is a major investment. And when you limit it, when you say all of Hamblen County before you go ever do anything else, this project by the investors needs to have a quantity of scale large enough so they can get a return on their investment, or they're not gonna put the money in the Lakeway area. So the feasibility study that's still in progress covers a lot of Jefferson County, Dandridge, White Pine, Jefferson City, covers Hamblen County where Appalachian serves. Cotton County is also looking it to be included in that. The idea to get large enough where the investors feel like they can get a return on investment. So if you limit it to Hamblen County only, it would effectively kill the opportunity to bring this investment into the county.
Let me ask you this, Jody. As the legislative bodies in Jefferson County and Cobb County, have they passed a resolution asking that your services be extended to their counties?
They passed, I don't know if they asked my services, because I can't do that anyway. They did pass a resolution, which was on your consent calendar in December, that supported trying to change legislation at Nashville, which would allow municipalities to go someplace else. But that's not passed actually, so that law is not changed. But in this law, in this project, I'm not the retail provider in Jefferson or Cobb or wherever.
The private is who, or is that,
I don't know who the investors, we're working with a company called Magellan Advisors, and they go get the investors, and they're looking at the feasibility to see if it looks like they can get a decent return, and then they will go out and find those investors. But I do know, I can't say who, but I do know just last week, there was a city in Texas that private investors did this. You ask, why are they doing that? And I've talked to my friends at AT&T and cable TV. You know, they're stockholder providers. They got to provide a profit. They look for short return on investment. These investors are looking at fiber optics just like power lines, water lines, or streets, and they're willing to make a long-term investment because they don't pay stockholders. They just want a return on their investment where they got their money in bond markets. It's not doing too good.
what type of investment are they gonna be making? And we're looking at 10 million or 100 million?
At one time, they said they need a minimum of 100 million.